That's Matt's department. Are you ready for him?
Matt.
Okay.
What's the story? You're not in Mincha yet today? What not? No, but I know it's not. No, I wanted to take me home.
I'll take you home, no problem.
She said, after I finish.
No problem.
Without Mincha.
I'll take you home.
Without Mincha, you mean? No
I'm
Mincha.
upstairs. I'll come down.
What time they got them upstairs?
1:15.
Oh, okay, beside. Should I start?
Please.
Anyway, the Torah says, "Okay, lo yechu b'nei Yisrael es gid anoshe, shal kaf hayorech ara yoyim hazeh, naga b'kaf yorech Yaakov b'gid anoshe." But we can't eat the gid anoshe. And ask any question you want. Yaakov has a meeting, a wrestling match, or an encounter with the Malach. I can't even get a notion. I'd like to explain why, and then I'd like to explain what we learned from the Gid HaNoshim. The Rosh and the Chizkuni say the same explanation. Chizkuni says it a little, stretches it out a little bit, so I'm going to read from the Chizkuni on this parcel. B'dinu, it's rightfully done. Sheyesh liknois, v'lenois b'nei Yisrael, b'nechilas gid. Jewish people, Jews should be punished for meeting the Gid HaNoshim. Why? Shenichu es aviyam, hoylech yichidi. They left Yaakov Avinu alone. You don't leave somebody like that alone. How do I know he left Yaakov Avinu alone? K'dichsiv, vayivase Yaakov levada. He's there alone. V'hem hayu gibayrim. We're strong and mighty people. V'haya lehem lahamtin. They should have waited for their father. They should have helped their father. If you would need help, they should help. They should be there. Why are you leaving Yaakov Avinu alone? V'hem lo asulai. They didn't do it. They didn't escort him. V'hem lo asulai levaya. They didn't escort him. Got them. Guys are big, big guys. He didn't go with, small people. He went with people, warriors. V'chulei, v'chulei, v'chulei. Ruzak al yadam. Spoonie says, Yaakov got injured. Whatever happened. Of course, they left him alone. Umikan ve'elech yeh lahem lezecher. Should be a remembrance to them, ve'yiyu. They should be careful. The mitzvahs levoya. They should do levoya. Everybody knows it says, Vayavim Avinu v'yit Eshel. Eshel is achila, shesiyah levoya. If you take off the lamed from Eshel, you're left with Esh. All the problems happen. You gave somebody a sumptuous repast. V'chulei, 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 all the good stuff in your house, you gotta escort them out of your house. If not, it's Aleph Shin is Eish. That's what the Chizkuni says. Take it one step further. Malbin says, different approach, why we can't eat the Gid HaNoshim. He says, he says flesh, meat, basar is meat, not flesh. But anyway, ki basar, abalei chayim, hanechal, misafich, lebasar, adam, hanizon. Whatever animal you eat, you become the animal you ate. If somebody looks at the Ramban, Chumash Vayikra, the reason why you can't eat the animals that are, if it's a wolf, if it's an aryeh, a lion, the Ramban says they create a bad nature in man. This animal, that animal. If an animal tramples or devours, you become that. You are what you eat. Ramban says a few hundred years ago, You are what you eat. So he says the same thing. He says the food you eat, whatever you got satiated from, you become that what you ate. How can yiser achilas atmeyim v'shkotzim? Can eat the creepy crawlers, whatever, famous crawl, whatever it is. Ki bazeh yikne ha'oichel teva ha'doireis v'achzoriyis. You become cruel. A lion, if a lion sees a piece of meat, the aryeh, he doesn't eat a dead piece of meat. He's got to shecht it himself. Doesn't trust anybody else's kashrus. He has to shecht it himself. Haken acha shero kinaga b'kaf yerech Yaakov. He got Yaakov in the thigh. So he says over here. So therefore, and what does this food do? What does the Geranasha do? Let's learn some biology. Or maybe whatever other word you want to use. What does the Gid Hanasha do? He says over here, the Gid Hanasha creates a certain taiva. Taiva pleasure. I guess it's good. I know you can ask, ain't begin to be nice and down, we'll leave that alone for now. But I'm just reading you what the Malbim says. Lachein Amar Lahem. Lachein Asa Lahem, that's why it's forbidden to them to eat that part of the Gid Hanasha. There's a remembrance. Work on yourself. That's as far as he said. We'll get to the chinuch. Chinuch is the reason that you should always learn chinuch. Chinuch was written for his bar mitzvah boy's son, and he gives reasons for all 613 mitzvahs. Explain some of the laws.
Can you repeat why we don't need to get a nusher again, please?
It creates a certain time, just like according to Malbim, just like animals. The Ramban says animals create a teva. If you eat something which is doireis, or whatever each animal does to get his prey. So why can't you eat tarfus? Let's make it simple. Why can't you eat tarfus? So if you eat tarfus, it creates what that animal has, goes into your nature. You get new DNA when you eat tarfus. Let's say it like that. You get new DNA. And there's something good about the Gid Hanasha. There's some taiva involved in the Gid Hanasha.
You don't want to have that taiva.
We don't want to have that taiva. Some cruelty also. I mean, it's got to, it's got to be a little bit good, or else nobody would eat it. Nobody would want to eat it. It would be it's hard. Some doesn't tell you not to eat this piece of wood. There's no issue in the Torah. You can't eat a piece of wood. Eat a piece of wood. Who cares? You may be retarded. They may put you in a funny farm and allow you that. Yeah, but I'm saying, so if you eat things which create a bad teva, just makes you a bad person. So says the Malbim. Let's get to the chinuch. Chinuch is a rishon. Mitzvah Gimel, everybody knows. There's 3 mitzvahs in Bereshis. So he says a mitzvah Gimel. Kosa v'tam ha'isur shelo lechol es hagid hanashe. Why? Zel l'shoyna. Everybody learns. You got. Just shows you how big the Torah is. You can find reasons and reasons why not eat it, why the teachers want it symbolizes, etc. He says over Kedei Shaniya Remez Yisrael, the Jewish people should know. Sha'af al pi, he spells it out, he's not afraid to tell you the truth. The Rishonim only spoke the truth, so do the Achreinim, but we're learning a Rishon now, so that's what the Chinuch says. Sha'af al pi sheyizbalu tsarais rabbis megaliyais. Miyad ha'amim, miyad b'nei Esau. He's telling you, he's giving us a sneak preview, says the Chinuch. I'll give you a sneak preview to all the Jewish people. Even though the Jews are going to suffer all kinds of agony and anguish and grief, and Hitler and Chemlitzky and Mach Shemam, and Ferdinand and Isabel and Crusaders, and Antiochus and Haman, it'll make a difference who they are. It doesn't make a difference who they are. From the nations of the world and from Esau. Sheyeh ptuchim. Shelo yevedu. The Jew, when he learns the parsha of Gid Hanasha, Shabbos is parsha, the Jew asks, no, he's not going to go lost. Elo yo'olam yamoid zarom. Jews are here to stay. V'yavolem goyel. There's going to be a redeemer. V'yigolem. V'yatzar. From all the oppressors. We're going to be redeemed. B'zichram Tamid Inyan Zeh, Al Yedei HaMitzvah, you deal with the concept when the person thinks about the get, like I need to get a nasha. Yamdu Be'munasam, and Jews gonna have a munah. Just like when you eat the matzah on Pesach, you remember that Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. So when you don't eat the get a nash, you know the Jews are gonna win in the end. V'remez zehu lefi shanach she'oisay malach shenilcham im Yaakov Avinu, the angel that wrestled with him, fought him, whatever the correct word is, Shabbat ve'kabbalah shusara shalaisa. It's Esav's guardian angel. Ratzal ha'akrai le'Yaakov min ha'olam. He wanted to uproot, he wanted to get rid of Yaakov. No more Yaakov. Final solution, min ha'olam. Who v'zaroi? And only Yaakov. You get rid of Yaakov, you get rid of everybody. V'la yachalai. The biggest chizuk for a yid, even if it's Chanukah time, biggest chizuk for a yid is the Jews are here to stay. Here to stay, Rabbi said. The person has to know that, the person has to believe that's the Aleph of Yiddishkeit. I'll tell you another Gemara, since we already told you this about Esau. The Gemara says, Sanhedrin Tzadik Vav Omer Aleph, we'll tell you the Gemara outside. And the Babylonian general destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. He started feeling good about himself. Come on, he comes, he destroys Yerushalayim, whatever he does. What was that for another Shmooz? Destroys it. A heavenly voice comes out to this Russian, to this wicked guy. You ground flour, you burnt a burnt temple. Oh. Reb Guy, or not Reb Guy, Joe Guy, Ahmad Guy, Mustafa, Karim Abdul Guy. He didn't do anything, was the queen on them. Well, he won the Nobel Prize for War. He don't deserve a prize. He didn't do anything. That's it. Was the queen ordained, kacha. So what do you feel so good about yourself for? Mal had to tell him that. He felt good. So we have to learn from that. You're right, Yaakov got touched. But how does the parsha end? He says more before we get to the end of the parsha. V'chein zera Esav mitzar l'zera Yaakov. Esav's always causing sorrows to the children of Yaakov. Philip Seif. Tiyeh lahem Yeshua. Jews are going to win in the end. How do I know that? Says the Chinuch. I'll prove it to you from the parsha. How does the parsha end? Vayizrach loy Hashemesh. The sun was shining for Yaakov Avinu. The Rappaisoi. That's it. V'noisha min atzai. Got cute. You're right. Maybe he was on the disabled list for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and he lowered there. Maybe 2 days, maybe 2 hours, and he lowered there. It doesn't say how long. Ken Yizrach lanu Hashemesh. Shel Mashiach. Mashiach's going to come, Rabbi said. When you learn Gid Anosh, you have to know Mashiach's going to come. It looks like we're losing. Looks. It's a fake. The Yehoshua could make you think, oh, Jews, you're rabbi. Question happened to me every day back in the day. Rabbi, the Jews were chosen to suffer. We're going to win in the end. And he says, V'yirpe'enu, mitzarenu, v'yigalenu. Amen, b'meir b'yamen. That's what he says. That's what Chinuch says in Mitzvah number Gimel. It's not only the Chinuch that has that approach. You look at the Rabbeinu Bachaya, also a Rishon. They lived with Crusaders, they lived with all the Tsaris, they lived with destruction of Beis HaMikdash 1, Beis HaMikdash 2, all they live with Jewish history. Can't get away from Jewish history. He says it. And differently, he takes a different approach. He doesn't specifically speak about Giranosha, Rabbeinu Bachaya. He says it. Everybody knows the first time Moshe Rabbeinu was met by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He met him in a burning bush. But what was the story with the bush? The fire doesn't consume the bush. I don't know, I'm sure probably everybody here, once in his life, twice in his life, hopefully every year he burns the chametz. I never seen a fire that eventually doesn't go out. May take an hour, may take 2 hours, but here vasneh and then uko. Madua lo yivar sneh. All of a sudden, there's fire going up. The bush is there in its entirety. It doesn't change. Aye. The Malach tells him, there's a heavenly fire, and he tells him, what am I supposed to learn from it? Ikar Amuna, Amuna HaKadosh Baruch Hu, B'Kiddush Ha'olam, V'chulei, Hashem runs the world. And he says, just like the bush doesn't burn, the Jewish people, as downtrodden as they are, as humble as they are, as lowly is probably a better word. Barzel, Bob Nafshoy, whatever service you can imagine, you're right. Well, it's a pasuk in Tehillim. Who boyed Tomid Be'esh HaTzoris. Jews are always surrounded by one form or another form of fire. Whatever the fire is. Be'esh HaTzoris. Fire is everything. Fire can be concentration camp. Fire can be intermarriage. Make them what the fire is. Whatever the fire is. And the Taurus surround them on all sides. All sides. It's only fitting that the Jews should be consumed by the fires. If it's Hitler, it's Chemlitzky, it'll make a difference too. What does make different things are important? The terrorists, our cousins down the block, wherever they are. Derech HaMoivus, it's all miraculous. It doesn't follow any logical sense. The Medrash, I have the Medrash here, tell it to you now. The Medrash says it's one sheep among 70 wolves. It's not an exaggeration. We'll see later, but that's what the Medrash says, 2,000 years ago. Chiti achalabam, I'm going to shoot arrows at them, says the apostle. I was going to tell you, Bertrum on the base. My arrows, my bombs, my terror attacks, my gift, whatever you want to call it, that stops. Eventually they run out of gas, eventually they run out of guns and bullets, etc. Jewish people are still here. They didn't erase us yet and they never will. That's the olive base. The olive base of Gid Anosh. So he learned it from the burning bush. But they're all saying the same thing. If you learn the burning bush, if you learn Shmooz, if you learn all the Goluses, if you learn Antiochus, same thing. A bunch of Jews. I don't know if they lived on Rehov Mem Gimel, or they lived on Ponemi Ros, or they lived on Sorotskin. 13 yeshiva brachim that they don't know how to hold the gun. They don't know how to hold the gun. For sure they don't know how to fly a plane or a tank. 13 yeshiva brachim, says Rashi in B'zayis Avrocha. 13 yeshiva brachim beat the tremendous, great, whatever words you want to use, Greek army. You're going to say, today's already Yud Beis. In less than 2 weeks, you're going to say, V'rabim biyad ma'atim. Many against few. I don't know how it happened. I know the Jews won. Whatever the reasons are. Jews won. A handful of yeshiva brachim that never shot a gun. They sat and they learned Torah. What were they thinking? Another time in another Shmooz. They won. Says the Chayvus Alvavis, close to 1,000 years ago, the Chayvus Alvavis. This is the Chayvus Alvavis they should put in Forbes 400. What he says is, it's an economic Chayvus Alvavis. He says in Shach Chino Parakeh. Here's what he says, the Chayvus Alvavis, close to 1,000 years ago, not 1,000 years ago. That's what he says. V'im yirtzo adam lirais b'zman hazeh nisim adayim l'nisim shenaz l'avishenu. If today a person wants to see the miracles that happened to our fathers, it means all of history. Yiteg mabat amiti. Let him take a serious look. Look how we exist between all the nations of the world. With the United Nations, without the United Nations, doesn't make a difference. From the time we're in Golos, which is almost 2,000 years. Now he's going to talk finance. Val matzavenu hakalkali beinayim. Look at the financial status the Jews have. It's not a financial status the Jews got in the last 50, 70 years. The financial status of the time of Eves Shakespeare, Mach Shemoy. Make fun that Jews make their money with interest. I don't know. Make fun of the Jew boy. So he says, look at the financial status. Al matzavenu hakalkali beinayim. The financial status. Open up Forbes 400. Just open it up. I'm sure from the 400, whatever, I'm sure without knowing, without looking, at least 100 of them are Jews. Probably more than 25%, but we'll leave it at 25%. And despite the fact that we have a different value system, he says, we got our own way of doing things. How did Jews make them? How are so many Jews in Forbes 400? How come so many Jews in the 1930s were rich in Germany, all over the world? That's what he says. With a different Weltanschauung than everybody else, we're making it. They know, the guy knows that we're different. The guy knows, comes half hour before sundown. You want me to say 18 minutes before sundown, whatever you want me to say. The truth doesn't work. It doesn't work. I heard from it doesn't make a difference from who I heard it, but I heard from a lawyer, from one of the baseball players. Yeah, doesn't make a difference who and where. He was talking to one of the owners, one of the teams in California. The owner of the team said, it's the first time on a Friday night I had to deal with a Jew from a year. It's the first time Friday night I had dinner with my wife and kids in 20 years. He enjoyed dinner. I didn't say he ate kosher. I didn't say he was shy Mishal. He had dinner with his family. It's at least as good as theirs, and perhaps even better. It's over 1,000 years ago. Without Forbes magazine, without the Financial Times, without the Wall Street Journal, without Globus. Globus is really, that doesn't make a difference. But I'm saying a person has to study it. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Hanukkah doesn't make sense anymore. I had a student once from Yale University. He says to me, he was studying war strategy. He goes to class the first day, the first time he had that class, the professor starts saying, this war, that war, this general, that general, ta ta ta. And before the professor finishes his first lecture, he says, he doesn't say Rabbi Sai, but he meant Rabbi Sai. Rabbi Sai, don't ask me any questions about the Israeli army. I can't explain it, and I won't explain it. Next question. I said, I can't. There's no shot. It doesn't make sense. Dus ook de Chayvus Avavas, dus ook de Rabbeinu Bechaya, dus ook de Chinuch. The Jews somehow making it. Jews made it all the years. In this great big Golos. With all the anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism didn't start in Germany. Way before. Rav Yaakov Memnon says in his Siddur, it's a more street for every person that wants to know anything about Jewish history and anything about belief in God. He says it. Vechlo yevush hakoifer mashgocha. How is a non-believer not embarrassed if he just looks? Look at the Jewish people. Rabbi Yid, the English historian Toynbee, says he can't explain nations rise, nations fall. He can't explain the Jews. Maybe they never rose, I don't know. But I think in the time of Shlomo HaMelech and David HaMelech, I should say David before Shlomo, in the time of David HaMelech or something, it just went out. Anachno Uma Hagoyla Seh Psura, or Seh sheep, all over the planet. Look what the Tsar is, he says, Tsars, upheavals, uprisings, thousands of years. There's no nation on the planet that's as persecuted as the Jewish people. How many Tsars? That's what he says. V'chol dar v'dar. You say it Pesach. He says it. You read the Yaakov Memnon, you read the Sid every day. They hate us. They're jealous of us. Sin and kinna. Doesn't stop. It's not going to stop. These are the rules of the game. It's olive base. All the nations. Where's the best part of Parasumadai, Yavon, Bavel, Mitzrayim? All of these great world empires. All of these great quote-unquote cultures. Maybe they last 100 or 200 years. Maybe 3, and lo yodea. Not a historian. But Judaism is still practiced today. We do Judaism the same way, like I used to say all the time. The same way Avram gave a bris to his son Yitzchak over 3,700 years ago. Same way we give a bris today. Didn't change. Same bris. Whatever the halachas are, the same halachas, same way Avram gave a bris to his son Yitzchak. Same exact way. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. That's the olive base. That's what he wants a person to realize. And he goes right after he did eat these few wine. He says, all your sight is in these few wine. I wish we could ask people, I could do it there too, but if I was going to ask anybody here, if I would ask, what's the greatest miracle that happened to the Jewish people? No. Greatest miracle happened to the Jewish people. Okay, but you probably heard this once before.
Fulfilling the vision that...
Say, you're right. But most people tell me, Tzias Mitzrayim, Kabbalah Satira, everybody has a different explanation. He says over here, Yaakov Me'emdon, Godel Etzli Yosef Mikol HaNisim, from the flies. He says that we're still here today. Mitzrayim, Midbar, Eretz Yisrael, Chol Ma'al, that happened in this long Golos. The Nay says we're still here today. And that that miracle gets bigger and bigger every day. As big as the miracle was in 1967, was bigger in 73, bigger in 91, and bigger today. It's the olive base of Yiddishkeit. It's the olive base. I didn't say any chidushim here. And that's the same thing with Hanukkah. A bunch of yeshiva bachim, fine, great going. But you learn that. At least according to certain Yishanim, you learn it from the Anasha. The Jew can't give up. You're not allowed to give up. The Mishnah says the Saita, the beginning of defeat is when you run away. Don't run away. Fight. Shem will help. That's what a person has to learn from the Gid Nasha. That's Jewish history. That's the Gid Nasha. That's the burning bush. That's Hanukkah. That's Purim. Good, you could ask the question, why Hanukkah they fought, and Purim not another time. This is the Avodah, that's what a person has to know. And if you believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he can make oil that's supposed to burn for one night. A lot of miracles of it. I was going to tell you one of the answers. They say if the miracle, they had enough oil for one night. How come we celebrate Hanukkah 8 nights? Celebrate it one night. Yeah, one night, good. Or 7 nights, a miracle. 7 nights, not 8 nights. A lot of answers. Hundreds and hundreds of answers given to this question. Tell you one answer. A person has to know that nature, the way God runs the world, is also a nace. Teva is also a nace. And the Ramban says so at the end of Parashas Boy. I will tell you to read the Ramban for homework if you can. Read the Ramban for homework, the last Ramban above. It's a nace. Teva's a nace. Who says Teva should work? Who says you should have 5 fingers on each hand? Who says you should have 2 hands? And we go on and on and on and on and on and on. More miracles. Because it's not the splitting of the sea. You think it's not a miracle? It's a miracle. A person has to realize that. You wake up in the morning, it's Maidani. We got up. I don't know how many people went to sleep last night and didn't get up this morning. They lay up there. It's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. If God's pulling all the strings, we're here to stay, Rabbi said. It looks like we're losing, it only looks that way. It's only to test a person's immune b'tachon. You say all the time, we end up with this. How come Hashem never saves you the bottom of the 8th? Bottom of the 7th? How come the Abish only saves you the bottom of the 9th when you're down 2 runs and 2 strikes and your worst hitter is up? Hey, don't laugh. Uncle partner, we should give everybody siyata d'shmaya. We should do what we're supposed to do, and not eat to get anasha, and not eat anything else that's straight.
Amen.
Thank you.